So yesterday we talked about a meeting in our morning zohar, and this is the morning zohar for the day, the fifth day of the week of Parshas Toldot. Fifth day corresponds to the Midah of Hod. As Harry Truman said, the buck stops here. That's where Hod is located. So now we had a meeting between Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yitzchak, and Rabbi Yehuda brought his son along with him. The Zohar says like this. I'm just going to read the Zohar here, and we'll see how much time I have because I have 10 minutes to shul. So Rabbi Yehuda was listening outside of the door of Rabbi Yitzchak, and now he actually pushed on the door and he entered. And the two of them became one, or they joined together. Rabbi Yitzchak now with his visitors says, he says, now we see that the yichud that takes place with the Shechina, that's coming together with us. Rabbi Yehuda Amarta Shafir. So now remember we talked about Yitzchak. Yitzchak was at the Be'er L'chai Roi. So he said, what you said about this Be'er L'chai Roi, well, that's really good. But there's something secret over here that I want to talk about. Pasuk v'Amar, he quotes this quote from Shir Hashirim, Mayim Ganim Be'er Mayim. So it's a spring, the spring in the garden. Be'er Mayim, it is a wellspring of water, living water, the nosli min Lebanon, and they flow out from the Lebanon. Now, of course, we know that Lebanon is a place, but the word that we really, the root of this word is the word Lavan, which means white. The concept here is that it flows from absolute purity. Hai Kra Itmar, so this plus has been talked about. But this is the way we want to explain it. Mayim Ganim da Abraham, who is the wellspring? The wellspring for the garden. That is Avraham Avinu. Avraham is Chesed. Chesed goes along in Kabbalah with the concept of water, which is Chesed. Be'er Mayim Chaim da Yitzchak, but the wellspring itself of the living waters, that's Yitzchak. The nozlech of min Lebanon da Yaakov, and it flows out of the Lebanon, which is Yaakov. Now, what he just mentioned Kabbalistically is the right line, which is Avraham Avinu, the left line, which is Yitzchak Avinu, which is Gevurah, and the middle line, which is Yaakov, and he says that this is where the flow nozlim and Lebanon from the white space da Yaakov. Be'er Mayim Chaim da Yitzchak. So let's understand. He says it's a living waters. This wellspring of living waters. Yitzchak. Because it says that's where he lived. He lived by the place of the Be'er L'chai Roi. My bear dog Shchin. So when he says bear, the wellspring itself, the wellspring refers to the Shechina. This is the Gematria 203. Maybe see it someplace else. Da Shchin. The Chai. So here's the word Chai. Do Chai Olamam. This is everlasting life. Tzadik Chai Olamim. The tzaddik has within himself the power of eternity. Chai Olamim. And the main thing to do, to understand, is that we do not want to see this separated from Malchus. Chai hu bisrei omim. So it lives in two worlds. So it comes, it's a wellspring that comes from much higher place. But also it brings life into this world as well. So here we're talking about the transmission of semen, if nothing else, because it comes from a much more ancient, higher place. So this lower world, for this reason, that's the reason why it stands and shines. Chazi, come and see. See below is the hero elokad chazi the shimshon. The way that goes with the moon only shines when it's able to see the sun. So the chazi it's nine. So therefore, once it sees it, then it begins to shine. So this is what we're talking about when we say the bear, this wellspring, l'chai roi vadai. That's what it is for those who see it or those who see the vision. brings life. And then it shines because it has this relationship which is what it is seeing, that is Zeranpin, really, the male force. The Gadin is the Chai Rawi, the Gin is Mal Yachad is the Chai, because it's now shining. It's filled up with this life. Now the Zohar goes on a little bit more. Let's just see a little bit more of it. It says, Talchazi, come and see. Uveniyahu ben Yehodah ben Ish Chai. So here we have we're back into this word Chai again. Ben Yahu, this person, ben Ish Chai. He is the son of the living man. The Habat Tzaddik Benachim the Dare, because he was such a great man, such a tremendous person, that he's shown to his generation. The Habat Tzaddik, the Nare the Dare, and he's shown onto his people. So it's just like into his generation, just like the sun shining on the moon. Just the same way that life force which is up above, that's coming from the origin of origins, is also shining into the world. So this Be'er L'chai, which we have to pin down what he means by the Be'er L'chai, but we have a Mata P'Devash, and God willing we'll see that. Begin in order that it should shine, as we had said. Because it said, V'yeshev Yitzchak in Be'er L'chai Roi, he lived in this place, and whatever this means, this relationship, actually is talking about the relationship between Yisod and Malchus, which ultimately brings us to Yichud. They said, as Rivka, that in his taking of Rivka, that he lived with her, he dwelled with her, and he made union with her. Choshech b'layla dechsiv, so the darkness at the nighttime, when it's through the small of the tachas roshi. In other words, he pulled, Yitzchak is on the left side, so he pulled her over to him, put his arm under, which is all Kabbalistic language, underneath her head. So let me say this a little bit more here. Yeah, and it said B'Talchazi, Yitzchak b'Kiryas Arba, b'Kiryas Arba, Ba'asech b'Damis Abraham. Let me read it again. B'Talchazi Yitzchak b'Kiryas Arba, b'Kiryat Arba. He was in his Hebron. Ba'asech Damis Abraham after Abraham died. Malchu v'yeshev Yitzchak in the Be'er L'chai Roi. So then, how does he get over to the Be'er L'chai Roi? Is Daveg Bey, in order to make a yichud there. Ba'achiv Bey B'hahu Beira, make a oneness with that wellspring. That's the Arach of the Chimusach the Amara, in order to be able to rouse mercy, as we have said. I'm going to come back after this. I got to go to shul. I'm going to come back and pick up the Matat the B'Devash and get a little bit more of the richness of this Torah. Let me see. Have a cross